morning in the park yabana in the equipment tsa park yabana mizwingi already now mizwingi yawetsi park now is owned by somebody else just as little now you own this land. If ever that land is used, whether the flats or and you are using this land for your own interest, like a change a hostel, didn't hakuna library, hakuna crèche, hakuna shop, hakuna anything. Literally, he was standing. Ever to Babylon, Bawang Merekong, Ebe Babu. It was not designed to be like that. Corruption has made it to be like that. They shouldn't. It's unfair.
Unfair.
What I bigger question I gave if this was a white community, would you have managed to do this?
Never.
So it's a couple thing.
Never.
We don't have water. The councillor has even went far as grabbing agricultural land or fish that land. Small farmers that are within the community. It's high time you step down. Next week, we are coming City of Johannesburg. This is your fault. City of Johannesburg, we are holding you liable for this. You fail to act. You always protecting your own. We are residents. There is no councillor without a community. The message is to hell now, to hell now, you lie. You just use media just to gain a recognition. But manje, siyakutshela thina ke lapha esingaziwa esise grounding.
Iwane erileni rayiwina fela. Ya. Bona batho ba squatla o space hawo o free out class o bone mo kare ke di price di grounding ya manager. O ka re phakanya. Okay. Lona ne occupy ke another church legal. Right one, hey, after 15 years, hey, 15 years.
These people will tell you a story of how a township crumbles. And as you watch this, think of your own ward and your involvement. Let's begin.
Only a main pipe. I want to know extend. I want to know where I'm moving. Go fish out with the lab. Go Protea City. But remarkably, in the linky, I hear with my own trading. The somebody else who na regisa, who clever or regisa this yes, Karubis Pazas had stand. Kiwana about ANC. Who are you lematu more axorna went to rumor went king. Blacker Nanje, it tells the value like a regisanti, Ukrotola Zoga.
Okay. Because now this was a white neighborhood. That other side, their main reef.
They never did silent to say. Never.
Having the same results.
I will be like hole. I wonder how to street is so. How Reka left. Harry Fisher never received office in an Reka electric mo. When I know an open space opposite to Lord. What I think I can get I get 24. Then or kilo one most passes or excited stand. Ha fetsa a ke wa tseba re stand so se illegal ha gone thola Eskom and nna go thetse metsi jwang maybe o tswa wona metsi ya rona because after I sebetse batho ba hiri ke re kala re encounter ka nthina ka electric ewa rona rena na ke low shedding until bana ba ithola hantse re ka tsheko go etsahalang ka mo ntshena mo di cable ka mo tlase batho ba le gona le cable e connectileng from block e ka ofela e ya hona mo ditumong because ha gone go ya Eskom because
and o ka mollo
so we solve that as a community
and asa bua le lona
una go le hobe so I didn't electric now as we speak I not at least it black ale o ka ipotsa re metsi wa nka kae o tse re metsi ke wa rona obvious.
Okay. And then ke tla boela hape mo questioning eo. Do you think le kile la bua le di-authorities na lona and say rand water re kopa le lo checka mo le re tlele report?
A ke re re na le di-leaders tse re di kgethileng
Ee.
a ba tsamaile shem banna ba rona ba ba kgathala ba tshepiso dithunya se ra ba ra go nna le gore ke hloke monna ke dula hae
Kampane la tlhophega kaofela.
wa se gore mine o lantsha tšhelete for because a kere o na le go ba le go reketla ha lefatshe so dintlo tsa rona di na le di-cracks ba ka bona yaka it's worse o ntshitse tšhelete mine gore re fiwe ditšhelete tse gore kgone go lokisa di-cracks di jewe ke mang bazuka councilor rona ya ne ba re ke bazuka di feletse ke sekhwameng sa bazuka so re sabotasha le ke di-councilor sa
batho ba le ba tshebitse
la tšhelete ya sa tšhelete re re felela kae yo ntho sa mo o tla phamisa dipisi tsa rona kwala re botsamaya
Our concern actually were on facilities which can cater for the community staying around here, like, for instance, a hall, some shops, playing field for the children. We hoped there were reserved space for such, but unfortunately, some of the places which were for such were rezoned. For example, there was supposed to have been a church built the other side. Someone bought that piece of land, rezoned it to build houses. All those houses are using one address because it was an address for one stand. Now this church has done something like /1/2 out of the same address. So that's why you can openly see that this actually was not supposed to be a stand for houses.
And I don't even know I should be saying this on camera. But they built houses there.
All right.
It was like an open vacant space. And then they built houses. Oh yeah, this church is actually one of them because it was supposed to be turned into a community hall instead of a church, because that's how it started. It was a community hall at first, where creatives, so arts and culture was practiced here. There was a gym. Like when I say arts and culture, dancing, acting, all of the arts, they were done here. And then later on, for some reason, they changed it to be a church, which was supposed to be a community hall.
All right. Oh, okay. And so what's the status now with the community and the church/community hall? What is it now used as?
Well, right now it's vacant. No one's using it. And I've been talking to like community leaders here in my own neighborhood because I want to use it like for the gym. Because when I know the gym at someone's garage, and that's not ideal. So we want to get it back to what it once was. So we've been discussing how we're gonna work around that situation. But so far nothing has been progressive, I could say. It's been stagnant. It's been like this. As you can see, it's like maintenance.
We had a problem, I think we Monica.
Yes.
We had a problem because Catholic ale ayinka bayiberekisa is their church. And that was not supposed to be a church. That was a hall. Community. Community. It's a community hall. But the agreement in with the Catholic. So now they've decided to take over.
It's not necessarily a church. It was hijacked by the Catholics. It's all-purpose hall. the late Father John is the one who went out to look for funds to build this all-purpose hall. Initially, he is a Catholic. He wanted to build a Roman Catholic church here.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the funders, who are the, the name will come, they said, no, we have built a Catholic church in Dobsonville, referring the old Dobsonville.
Yes.
Because they don't know the distance, but for the fact that it stops
Dobsonville, they said we already have one in Dobsonville.
we can't have two churches in the same area. Then he came back. That's where now he involved the neighborhood. Went house to house to say, man, that space there, I think it will be better off if we can utilize it for all-purpose hall. What do you think about that, involving the community? Then people laughed at that. Then we started fundraising, and because I understand that once you need funds, they always want to know, what is it that you have on hand?
Yeah.
You can't just go out and look for funds having nothing. So every household popped out about 25 rands. There was bring a brick, The community was involved. And then that's how the Irish group, that's where he went to Irish for funds. And then that's how it came to be.
Okay,
Now
that's
for
quite
the fact,
interesting.
for the fact that it's Father John who raised the funds, the Catholics felt it's their property because it's their person who went out to look for funds.
But you already had a problem, bring a brick.
Yes, they didn't want to listen to this voice, and they know exactly what happened. So it was like they were shutting the community out of it. And it's for the second time that we closed it down. Not for the first time. And this time they're not coming back
When
anymore.
was it when it was built? The actual building of
Was it 2009?
Okay.
Yeah. Because this document, it's John Clergy.
Okay.
He's late.
Yes.
And he's the one who gave us this document.
Okay.
As though he knows that there will be argument about the building. So we have it. It states everything, and this place was supposed to be community hall, all-purpose community hall, and to run a crash from it. And there are funds which the Irish also gave. There's a backing which the Catholics have taken.
Wow.
So this states everything. And we tried speaking to them that we need to work together, but because they're too bossy, we decided, we can't work with them any further.
Okay.
So we closed it, but so far we're busy trying to get the papers title deeds that will fall under the community.
All right.
And the leadership are busy with that, and I'm the chairperson thereof.
Okay. Have you spoken to any government entities concerning this matter?
Well, they only came in when there was a big clash, but they never committed.
Okay.
Yeah, they never committed.
All right. But according to those documents, what's your stand? What are your rights over the building as a community?
After it was built, there's a section here that they were supposed to make handover to the community, which never happened. So this document is actually giving us a leg to stand on.
Okay.
And that our children shouldn't lose this because it's for them. So as is now, we have a certain old man who's working for human rights. He's busy trying to find us a title deed for the community, so that we must officially own it.
Okay.
And now that the community doesn't have the funds, we'll just give it a trial and see if it can maintain itself. Failing, I can always write a letter to City Parks and ask them to adopt it for maintenance purposes and security. If I realize that the community cannot manage to run it on their own.
Okay.
That's what's in my mind.
All right. Okay. So your battle with the Catholic Church, how long has it been? I mean, up to this date. I don't know if I got it right, but I understand that you closed it down for around 7 years at some point.
Yes, previously.
Then it was open and closed down for over a year now.
Yeah, it's about a year now because it's last year around April when we closed it.
Okay, what was the reasons of opening it?
We came to consensus and agreements with them
Yeah.
that we're going now to work together, share the place. We agreed, but unfortunately, when we meet with them to say now the community is asking for a slot for this, we say no, we can't offer that. For that, no. For that, no. Then we called the committee and said, no, we can't work on this way. Everything that we are requesting from these people, they keep saying no.
Okay.
So they're dominating us.
So the Catholic actually feel that they are in management of the building.
Yes. For the simple reason that it's Father John who went out for the funds.
Okay.
They forget the purpose. He went out for the funds, but the purpose was to build a all-purpose community hall.
All right.
And there was a board showing all-purpose community hall. As time went on, they removed that board because that's when they started thinking of hijacking the place.
So wasn't it who gave you the document? This one.
Father John. He
So
gave
Father
it to
John
one of
who
us.
Father John who went and got the funds
Yes.
gave you this document,
document.
as a guarantee to you
Yes.
that this belongs to the community.
Correct.
But now the Catholic Church comes and want to take management or claim to the building,
Yes.
claiming that it was raised by the Catholic John through
Yeah.
Father John.
Yes.
The same Father John
Therefore-
who gave you the documents.
Yeah, and therefore they took it for a church, and we said to them, but there's never have been a plan like this for a Catholic. Most of the Catholics, it's the same plan. And then they will say, no, it's a such-alike church. They were just saying a lot of funny things to try and confuse us and put us off track. But they found that no, we are standing our grounds. You see, it's funding for crash and a bakkie. It's the funds which were given by the Irish. The bakkie is no more. The funds we believe they are no more heavy funds. And we are not even interested in all that, but now because of the way they are stubborn, we can take them to court for the bakkie and the funds.
Okay, let me get this right. So you also received funds. Now I'm saying the funds were released
They were released and they
For
never
that.
took, yes.
and the
For
community has
that.
never got a cent of
Nothing.
that fund.
Yes.
There was a bakkie, the community never
got
Have
it.
you ever seen the bakkie?
Yeah, I've seen it several times. It used to work in here, but then I haven't known that it was our bakkie up until the
You opened those
results.
documents. All right. Okay. And that was in 2001.
2001. Yeah. This project, the building.
We are in 2026. So you have been having a 25-year-old battle.
Yes.
How sad.
Very, very sad.
How sad.
Iyazali yokuqala lekhoneni le kuthiwa le khona lapha ekhoneni ukwispace se-church kwafaka izindlu ezinjengoba uzibona lapha sabuza mina nomufi ukuba kuMasibuko ukuthi manje kuza kanjani ukufaka izindlu la ngoba le ndawo yesonto wayishintsha manje ishintshiswa yini manje ufaka izindlu kwathiwa umasipala uyifake emaphepheni le ndawo wayithengisa.
Okay.
And then wayithengisa umasipala wa-advertise emaphepheni azange kuze umuntu owathi afake i-complaint waze wayithengisela i-private umuntu oyi-one udinge le ndawo njengoba lo muntu afike wakhe izindlu lo ubaba lo ubaba ubehlala lapha e-Ireland uyowathenga le ndawo
Okay.
behlala lo-dialect ngamlanda mina lo baba Masipho sathi baba uthengisa kanjani uthenga kanjani le ndawo ngoba le ndawo yomphakathi wathi mina ngithengile then mangaba nifuna back ngingayithenga ngabuya nenithenge yini back sayiyeka-ke mina noMasipho.
And then tell me, with all the areas that you've seen when the place was advertised, how is the place now?
Except Dobsonville Gardens.
No, just Dobsonville Gardens.
Houses.
The Dobsonville Gardens that they sold to you.
Yes.
Yeah, and with the places that you saw and there was a walkabout, and the Dobsonville Gardens that you live in now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's the difference? Or did they meet your expectation?
No, that's not. You know, I always say I'm in the wrong place all the time. Since now I'm almost 33 years, no, this non-development, nothing. Only thing everyone on the garage, the rest is nothing. And you look at this space, the place before, you can see themselves. Things are happening. They've got more, they've got everything. Development, decolo, air, whatever you call, they are in there. Dobsonville Garden is like a ghost town. Nothing is happening. You have promises and promises and promises. At the end of the day, we end up fighting with people telling you that they've bought certain stands. That's our situation currently got Dobsonville Gardens. No. I don't think so. Because all those lands, people that are claiming already own. There's now individual people that are claiming already own. For instance, there's a huge trouble coming to this. They believe the same. And how did they buy? How did they title it? How did they got it? We don't know. And hence we end up getting involved with leadership now. We want to understand how did they buy these things.
Okay.
The same crash or there's only church. They told us about church between Streliza and Rose, who are about 6 houses or 8 houses, but I think it's 6 houses. That place never did about Gerek. To be a church, according it was actual zoning for church. They do not understand. Too many or not tulip. Come on. Crash. They've built houses. No, this place was not made for houses. Now there's houses more. The same the ground Saban. No one Mizwinki. At some point in something is happening. But Kenya Mizwinki by all that stuff. Banana Saba Dulagote. Today it's a battle bar. Somebody bought that place. I don't see any development to try Sargon. All those places not only developed, they've taken all the those empty space, those stands. And those zonal for those specific things I just mentioned now.
So how many stands do you have still open, regardless whether they are owned or not? The stands that, because my understanding from what you're saying, some of these stands, they built houses on them.
Yes.
How many stands are left in the entire Dobsonville Gardens?
Yeah. I'll start Kasaka Methodist. They just I don't know how to start this.
You can start from the beginning.
Yeah.
There's time.
Yeah. This then used to vote. It is then our post.
Okay.
No, it's a business. Your
post boxes.
Post boxes. Suddenly there's church. There was a kuku onolimole. What closer? So build you. Build this Methodist. Then committee started to talk about it. Then we had some leaders. Some of them are not even alive. They've gone. They started to fight that thing. Not even fighting person. They want to find out what is happening because the community itself was so worried to what is happening. Then Hansa Ubuamobar, they bought a stand. Now the question comes in: how did you buy that stand? Then at some point, because we knew about 3 things that will happen more that stand. We asked the people, especially Baba Muturis, what is Kisafin stand is regular. But no, we bought everything. Kisafin stand is regular. Raswara Norman, more than 10 say 3. Of 3, Kisafin salon. Now, whenever no extend, they say 1. That's why they said to us, as time goes on, to really follow up on that, they came in, but the other 2 stands, they were donated. They donated those stands. Since, and it's a chain that I can tell you, this thing work until Hanare started in 1993, 2001, 2003, 4. And during the discussion, that time, Methodist meeting. We know 2 years here we'll never meet each other. The next year after 2 years, Bato Parakita this place. Then people started to fight for that. But stop. There were sometimes never said Silimo and all that. I don't know what happened, Kadimo, what Felisika and all that. It's been ongoing. The last time, if you recall very well, because now I end up being part of this committee. It was 2024 where we end up going and discuss it was Methodist community, Rabale, development, government sector, development, whatever you call. But we are not look. But they were trying to actually mediate for us. But as one of our extent as government.
Yes.
The FHA given Elric Citizen Methodist stand.
Okay.
And we question how did they have this title deed. Because we needed a community to participate. Now we are this rezone that place because this zone is for business, industrial and recreation. We needed to find out those things. So it is according to them, looks legit that what you call. But however, they went and even asked Methodist, there's any chance you can get another stand around. They make an offer actually. We from governments that might give you that kind of a stand. Checking around. First of all, it's checking anywhere more about no, but not checking around more but standard clothes except that's that maybe resort because on. Then they were refusing that meeting, but the committee still stands. Say, look, this stand belongs to the community. Methodist, as I'm saying, our last meeting, it was 2024, where they were offered. Who told you to do? Now, 2 weeks back or 3 weeks back, I was told, Navang Kata this fight. I want to provoke them, but you end up provoking people and people get into trouble for unnecessary. Because at some point, there was a gentleman, Hannah Barba barricade mall. Just after our meeting, with understanding on about offer, they come in and we just reported to the people the situation in Asia. Then people they get very angry. And apparently one of the guys was arrested, but the court was discharged from the more that court.
Okay.
More that case, but you are stopping or you are stealing, whatever charges, whenever it's on. It ended up being like that.
Okay.
It's a good.
So you don't remember the details on that court case? He was, I believe he was charged for stealing the poll.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yes.
Yeah.
But according to the community don't deny. But the poll by the killer by the Kenya Mokereke.
Yes.
That's what they said. We are not there because we also question that guys. How can you is a theft?
Yeah.
But they're not running to read get them to buy the Kenya. Apparently, there's one of the leaders there. He was there, but the Kenya more on a Kereke.
Okay.
But suddenly they changed they stole it to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it the same leaders of the church that accused him of stealing?
Yeah, obviously, those are the people who opened the case. The same leaders of the church. Okay. Those are the ones who opened the case against the other man. And
do you recall what why the case couldn't go forward?
Yeah, the understanding that's what they said. They said the witnesses, obviously, the witnesses are Methodists. They chose to withdraw when a witness. That's how it was. That's what we understood it.
Okay. All right.
There's another pekani Mzwingi. There's a Hanaban Trusa Mzwingi. They came by you fix you look you.
Okay.
Something like maintaining, something like that. They took off those things. So they just saw to irregular black. I didn't know what happened to come. Same thing. You see, there was an arrangement got 2016 where there was a council of keepers who he went and said, But no, it will multi-purpose. Government and all that. We're still waiting even today, but someone is still stealing that land. Land and if it apparently yes
Was supposed to be for a multi-purpose.
Yes, multi-purpose. Now it's G was slowly coming around to village. Somebody's building that. Hanyan think you never share alone with working. You're not to village, to village, only area the RDP house.
Yeah.
But that G was open. We don't know what is happening. It's a serious problem, this place. When you look and walk here, as I've said, it's like you're in a ghost town.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening. And it's affecting our kids because there's nothing more in this Dobson Gardens.
Okay.
labajime lakho inemizwini ikhansela eyayingubhazuka ukhansela Dlamini wathi mayoyikhipha la mizwini wathi uyisebenzisa kanti sebeyithengisile leya bayithengisela i-private company sabona sekufika i-material kuzabakhiwa lapha ngicabanga ukuthi kwakuzabakhiwa i-complex because kwiplan esasiyibona yaleya ndawo yayingenye indlela i-youth yalwa yathi angeke kwakhiwe indawo yabantwana eyona nto yabasizayo ukuthi sibe nendawo yoba noba incane bayakhona uba bathole itshansi bajimele bahlanganyelane khona bakhona uba ne-ball control.
I'll share the experience that we had when we were dealing with some of the land use issues. We came across legislation, Ibitsiwa Spluma, which is a Spital Land Use Management Act. So that act, as we read on, because we are not experts in this thing, so we had to read further and then answer the document. So it describes what a community is. The community should have an element of self-sufficiency, or there are certain key activities in the development of a community that need to happen within that community. So, how about Dobsonville Gardens? Those things don't exist. So, if Ungas Pluma with Isamo Gardens, you'd find there's no compliance of any sort. I mean, we have, for example, a garage where it was intended to be a public park, a public open space. You have churches, they are even more like a garage, and where it was supposed to be business facilities. And then we have a challenge. I don't know, from a governance point of view, I think the level of being responsive leaves much to be desired. You know, we do want governance to succeed, but governance must also be responsive to be able to talk to us about what we are raising, not necessarily about what governance is bringing to us.
Okay, I arrived at Slovoville. Remember, Slovoville, I think it's 95 to 96. First RTP between those years.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because it was then, as I said last, Joe Slovo, if I'm not mistaken, was the first minister of housing. Yes, I think it's got, yes, yeah. I checked in my record yesterday, but they don't declare how many years existing.
But then, 95, 96, is that the time when there was no bridge?
Yeah, maybe we were young then, 95, 96, to remember that. Yes. But myself, I arrived at, my family arrived at 1999.
Okay.
At Slovoville. There was no tar road. There was just in bush, island and house and a lot of trees that side where there's a coconut.
Yeah.
Yes, 1999. Then I arrived at around 2016, but in and out. Then where I decided to stay, I think it was 2017.
Okay.
Then, I think when the project will kick in at delivering a project, that is where I arrive in those days. So when mine failed to pay those employees who are living in those mine houses, the mine come together and say, we're giving you this land and these houses because we are in the liquidation process. Then they were given them according to, I think Harmony Mine, there was a custodian to give these 72 hectares. Yiyo-ke le yenza ukuthi sifake imikhukhu because of abantu, they took that advantage of 72 hectares donation to those particular individuals. Because they are the ones supposed to own that land. So yangena kanjalo-ke le mikhukhu from ematitini, because it's not just a big portion, 72 hectares. It got beneficiary, abantwana bakhona basaphila abanye who have rights of that land.
So why then ingene kanjani?
Remember the declaration of the EFF, when the leader of the EFF and say occupy the empty land. That's how this Mikuku mushroom too much. That's how it entered in that community.
So, but this was an inheritance, something that was given by a mine to two certain individuals.
Two certain individuals, yes. It's 72 hectares. There's a document.
So this is a black on black.
This is a black on black, yes. So now people, they are fighting these 272 hectares. Who is the beneficiary of this? We don't talk about Pelindaba because the possibility can fall to Mkhal. There's a part of Mkhal City in Pelindaba. And then in Pelindaba, there's still a owner of that land. Yeah, the owner is still fighting that land, won that land.
So it's not state's land?
No.
Because last time when we covered the match, we heard that it's 25,000, the guy said 25,000 shacks. That's 25,000 families in that land.
It's growing daily because there's another portion that is open. So it could be more than that. It's growing daily.
But guys, explain to me, how does this thing happen? Where we have not only SAPS, but we have Metro that is recruiting like crazy, and I believe they have the muscle. So what is the city turning a blind eye?
My leader la sikhuluma ngepolitiki la. This Mikuku, it's a politically driven. There's someone who benefiting with this Mikuku. Remember, there's a tender within this Mikuku. You must be careful. So when this Mikuku mushroom, don't just mushroom. Someone who influenced this Mikuku to mushroom, possibility and councillors. Then there's a tenders of water. There's a tenders of toilets. These people are benefiting somewhere where they are sitting. So it cannot be mushroom. It will mushroom.
Because somehow the administrators allow it.
Allow it to happen. Because now the government said, we want to develop this area of Mikuku, but we have a problem. Now they're putting a red tape. We have a problem of illegal foreigners.
Yeah.
Who put those illegal foreigners? Because you have a solution to remove your own people there through C4, because they apply 96 upwards. Therefore, if you have people, as I have them in that Mikuku, then you'll know with 100 yabantu la, abantu betu. Therefore, let's spash them somewhere. There's houses, different development houses there. Let's spash those people and kill those Mikuku and see how many foreigners will be left there. Why don't you do that? Because you know you are benefiting with this Mikuku. This tender amount, tender yama toilet, tender yama jojo, who's supplying that?
Welcome to Fliginda.
Now I need proper education.
Basically, we were throwing the previous councillor Upazuka, and then Upazuka be routing there's this Nama resident of Slovo. We fought, and then we thought it would be best to be hit Abankada Slovo, unlike if you haven't found a and then in 2020
around June sabe sesila kulo lehlathi leli, and then into engayithanda 2022 that's when ke indaba yethu yangena nase-Johannesburg High Court. Ama-mine esilwa nawo la a-una lo mhlaba lo, it's a Harmony Gold, i-Randfontein Estate, Sibanye ne-Rand Uranium. So indaba yethu bayithatha bayifaka e-Johannesburg High Court. We also went to look for illegal assistance sawathola ama-advocate abasirepresenta. Nibona kunalama-address eniwabona la nalama-toilet. Yonke le victory le yi-victory esayithola through i-Johannesburg High Court because bakhanyiswa into eyi-one ukuthi such a huge informal settlement, labantu laba, how are they getting water? How are they getting ama-toilet? As a human settlement, you're supposed to go and niyenza i-scientific data laphayana sizokwazi ukuthola ukuthi how many number of South Africans abahlala lana and non-South Africans. So now, the shocking part of it, out of 100%, I would say 80% is South Africans. And then the other 20% is foreign nationals. And then who are foreign national esinawo, i-database human settlement. There I would say about 100 and something yibo abantu abanama-passport abaziwa yi-human settlement. Now yibo abantu who actually gave birth to iphela indaba yokukhamba. And abanye babo into engithandayo ama-documents wabo they are up to date. Ama-meeting wethu siwabambela kuyo le ndawo lesiyo. Masinama-community meeting baze bayasho ukuthi bayaya nabo kuma-embassy wabo ukubona ukuthi yini into abangayiyenza basically ukubasiza. But one thing ebayaziyo, they don't have a right to own land in South Africa. So now as soon as town planning comes down, I mean Mlungisi Mabaso went far as and calling in media briefing abatshela ngale ndawo ukuthi guys, I've identified a huge portion of land on the outskirts of Soweto where I'll be building 40,000 units wama-flat. You understand? Okay. So now sifuna ukuyibona ukuthi le nto le izoba yi-reality now. So abantu bokuhamba they are well prepared ukuya nakuwo lawo ma-units umlungisi azowa-akha and pay rent, but umhlaba ubuye back to a-South African. But manje I'm afraid to say ngicela uphume nomkhukhu wakho, iphi i-passport, iphi lona, but into yokucala angisebenzeli imithetho.
You know, there was a whole issue that happened, not having the details. If you can provide the details. Got a building near the new garage or the KFC that is currently now or Green Village. I don't know whether the place is Green Village or Toronko. And I believe you guys might have been involved haholo there. And there has been in some few people that we talk to, the issue of corruptions of jobs being paid for, or people having to pay back something every time they get jobs. What's your understanding on that issue?
Okay. Let me just start from the beginning. The area was bought by a white guy there. He's the one who have built the wall there. So that white man wanted to do a farm, more of a farm to bring his cattle and goats and so on. But we said as a community, you know what, we can't allow such a thing to be happening here where we still need a development. So you bringing something like a farm here, it's not working. It's not gonna work for us. We need something that will benefit the community and so on. So we had a couple of meetings with the guy. Then the guy said, you know what, it's okay. Bring me someone who's gonna buy the land. Then I'm willing to buy the land, but I can't donate the land to the community or else I've bought it. So I need to get back my money. So if you can bring me someone who can buy the land, then we can talk something. Then came other guys, they wanted to buy the land, but they wanted to build your flats there, your residential flats where people will stay. So we refused again. That no. There's just equal flat here, so we can't be having another private flat adjacent that Josco flat. So we can't allow you to build such a thing. It doesn't bring business to the community. We're only coming to take money to the community. There's nothing the community is gonna be benefiting out of that. Okay, left, so we went out again. Then that's where we got the Indian guys. Said, you know what, it's fine. We can come through there and build a garage and so on. That's where the guys came in. Then they started to do the proposals. Then the garage was built last year. So in terms of employment, there's no one who was more involved per se in the process of employing people. Because if you can check there, the people who are working at the garage, mostly it's youth. Many people brought the CV there by the CLO's office, they submitted their CV and so on. But just to show that there was no corruption needed there, most of the people who are hired there, there's no one who's over 26 or over 30. Most are young kids, which shows that, and they're coming from various areas of Slovoville, some from here, Gardens, Doornkop, and Lefering. So the owner of the garage, they're the ones who were doing the shortlisting and so on, and the interviews were not even done here. And at some stage, the councillor wanted to come in as to say, what procedure are you using to hire here? And because that was a private project, there was no way the councillor can dictate the way he dictates in those projects of Lefering. Because he's the one who's deciding who's supposed to work, who's not supposed to work. So we have blocked him and we don't know what councillor here, you're not involved. We brought the investor and want to make sure that the area will be functional in no less than 3 months. So we are cruising nicely and so on. So we don't want your involvement there. So I think the frustration has grown towards him, and they started pushing the issue of propaganda that, you know, you have hired members who belong to a certain political party and so on. But when you can even go there at the garage, you know, some other time you can go and pass by there. Just talk to a few of them, then you will hear that these kids, they don't even have a clue of what's happening in the political space. They just brought their CVs there and they were shortlisted and they were interviewed, and that's how they got the job.
Okay.